Now to the U.S. West Stock Index futures were trading lower ahead of Monday's open as investors paused for breath after Wall Street posted sharp gains in the previous session. On Friday, U.S. stocks finished sharply higher on the back of better than expected earnings results. Switching to Monday, in the corporate sphere, Lockheed Martin, Dominion and Seagate Technology are set to publish their latest financial figures. On the data front, personal income and outlays are due out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, followed by the Dallas Fed's Texas Manufacturing Outlook Survey at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. In politics, the U.S. administration's security team is reportedly looking at options where the government could occupy part of the nation's mobile network in order to protect itself from China. And in Asia, shares closed mixed today after Greater China markets gave up early gains to trade lower in the afternoon. Japan's Nikkei 225 reversed early gains to close nearly flat at 23,629 points, with energy-related stocks, trading houses and automakers mostly higher. South Korea's benchmark Kospi index climbed 0.91% to end at 2,598.19. Over in Sydney, the S&P ASX 200 edged up 0.42% to finish the session at 6,075 points as markets resumed trade following a long weekend due to Australia Day last week. Greater China markets, which had mostly traded higher in the morning, slipped into negative territory in afternoon trade. On the mainland, the Shanghai Composite lost 0.97% to close at 3,523 points, and the Shenzhen Composite fell 1.56%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index declined 0.51%. In the meantime, Japan's financial regulator plans to slap an administrative punishment on cryptocurrency exchange operator CoinCheck after the firm lost 58 billion yen worth of new coins to hackers. Tokyo-based CoinCheck on Friday suspended trading in all cryptocurrencies except Bitcoin after the theft of name coins in one of the biggest ever losses of digital money to hackers. The theft, which is one of the biggest ever thefts of digital money, underscores security and regulatory concerns about Bitcoin and other virtual currencies, even as a global boom in them shows little signs of fizzling.
The Financial Services Agency will issue a business improvement order to CoinCheck, including measures to protect its customers. I expect the agency will supervise the company to take necessary actions based on the regulations and contracts. The government will investigate the causes of the accident and deliberate on the necessary countermeasures. Then the government will also discuss whether further measures are needed.
And back here, MTN Group Limited, Africa's biggest mobile network operator by sales, says it returned to profit in 2017, recovering from a $1 billion fine it paid for its Nigerian business in the prior period. It expects to report a profit for the 12th month ended December 31 that compares with a headline loss of 0.77 rand a share and an attributable loss of 1.44 rand a share a year earlier. MTN is working its way through a tumultuous period triggered by the Nigerian penalty in October 2015, originally set at $5.2 billion. The penalty led to the resignation of the CEO and months of negotiations before it was eventually settled. And Petra Diamonds Limited expects full-year core earnings to come in about 10% to 15% below consensus and cut its 2018 production forecast, sending its shares down 15% in early trading. The company, which operates diamond mines in South Africa and Tanzania, said earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization to be hit by the recent strengthening of the South African rand. The profit warning comes after a 3-week strike at its South African operations and the blocking of a consignment of diamonds in Tanzania that led the company to flag a possible breach of 2 of its debt covenants in October. Petra, which had a net debt of about $644.7 million as of December 31, says it has started formal discussions with its lenders to evaluate the covenants. And South African utility Eskom will publish interim financial results on Tuesday in time to meet a January 31 deadline set by the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, which had threatened to suspend trading in Eskom's bonds. Eskom is the sole power supplier in Africa's most industrialized economy and delayed publication of its results late last year. The firm has been embroiled in a governance crisis and has been at the heart of allegations of undue influence in awarding tenders during President Jacob Zuma's time. International ratings agencies have regularly cited Eskom as a threat to South Africa's strained public finances. Earlier this month, the government named a new Eskom board and told the company to remove executives facing allegations of serious corruption and other acts of impropriety. An Anglo-American has announced the sale of a new Lago thermal coal project in South Africa for approximately $71 million to a new majority black-owned and managed company. New Lago's main asset is an 585 million ton coal resource and related mining rights, which is positioned to supply Eskom's new Kosel power station. New Lago Coal Proprietary Limited is owned by Seriti Resources Proprietary Limited and Colza Proprietary Limited, two companies majority owned and controlled by historically disadvantaged South Africans. And when we come back after the break, Toyota's South Africa unit recalls more than 700,000 vehicles. Details in a moment. Just stay with us.